So first question is going to be the easiest. Name and title you'd like me to use.
My name is Rick Lohr. I'm a retired teacher from Wausau West and Newman, and also the former owner and manager of Pine Valley Golf Course.
Okay, so can you just kind of summarize what your presentation was about this afternoon?
Well, back in the late 80s and into the 90s, I had some Hmong students, and I was very interested in their background, and especially when I resigned from teaching to take over the golf course in January and February, I could go over. And so I made 2 trips to Ban Vanai refugee camp, which was one of the larger Hmong refugee camps in Thailand. And then in 1999 and 2000, I went into Laos and got up into the hills in some of the villages where the Hmong lived.
So why did you think it was important to share the experiences you had with people today?
Well, the Hmong are so much part of our community now, and many people don't know the history of where they cooperated in our war, basically, in Vietnam, rescued a lot of our pilots and harassed the Ho Chi Minh Trail, and were allies of the U.S., and when we pulled out, they were left in an enemy country.
And with learning about the Hmong history, how does that help people learn about Hmong people today, considering that it's a little bit further removed now since it's been about 50 years?
Well, they can learn that their past is very valuable, that they aided the U.S. and its ambitions in Southeast Asia, and lost everything. They became refugees, in which case you lose your country, usually culture. Basically, you're in a refugee camp and waiting to see what will happen to you. For the Hmong who came to the United States, it's important for them to know their past, but I think it's important for average citizens too as well.
So for anybody that maybe wasn't here today or wasn't able to be, what do you think is the most important thing that they should know about the Hmong people and their history?
I think maybe the secret war, where Hmong soldiers fought a long war from 1962 to 1975 against the communists and lost a generation of men in doing so. And most of them lost their villages and became refugees living in Laos. And then after the communists took over, they had to flee and go to Thailand, and losing everything in the meantime. And so when they come to the U.S., it's to start anew, and it's quite a story that they have to tell.
And if someone is interested about learning more, where would you direct them to?
I would direct them to Jim Harris's museum that's in the mall. It's right where Penny's used to be, right next door, and it is a very well done museum of cultural artifacts. He goes back and he takes out mines and live shells so that people can farm their land in Laos today. Many of the bombs and shells and mines did not explode, and they are killing and hurting people even today.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or that I didn't ask about?
No, I think that's pretty